Hello everyone. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about debates in the world of modern dieting. Which is more effective, eating one meal a day, known as OMAD, or 2 meals a day, TMAD? We're going to explore this topic in a documentary-style format, focusing not just on science, but also on what's most practical and realistic for people like many of you, those in your 50s living in the US. We'll unpack the facts, the physiology, and the long-term impact, with the goal of giving you clarity and confidence in your health journey. Let's begin with a brief look at the history of intermittent fasting. Contrary to what some might think, intermittent fasting isn't some new wellness trend born on social media. It's deeply rooted in human history. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates once said, "Excessive eating dulls the mind," and Roman soldiers were known to deliberately restrict their meals to maintain peak performance and focus during battle. That ancient wisdom is now being re-evaluated under the microscope of modern science. And surprisingly, it's holding up quite well. Now let's take a closer look at the OMAD strategy. OMAD, short for 1 meal a day, involves an intense 23-hour fast, followed by one concentrated eating window. It's designed to trigger dramatic fat burning and rapid weight loss. The idea is simple but powerful. Give your body a long stretch, without calories, so that it turns inward and starts burning stored fat for fuel. It's an aggressive method, but for many, it's shown impressive short-term results. On the other side of the spectrum is TMAD, 2 meals a day. This approach typically involves 16 to 18 hours of fasting, followed by 2 well-balanced meals. It's less intense than OMAD, but aims for long-term sustainability. TMAD is often seen as a more flexible lifestyle rather than a temporary diet. It prioritizes consistency, metabolic balance, and gradual fat reduction, without overwhelming your hormonal systems or social life. So which one works better? That's the question we'll be exploring throughout this series. Stay tuned, because the answer depends not only on biology, but on psychology, lifestyle, and something even deeper, your personal rhythm of living. Now let's take a closer look at how OMAD and TMAD actually affect our bodies. Because this isn't just about willpower or meal timing. It's about real physiological consequences. One of the strongest benefits of OMAD lies in its powerful fat-burning capacity. When you maintain a long fasting period, your insulin levels drop significantly and your body begins to tap into its stored fat for fuel. According to a 2024 study published in JAMA Network Open, OMAD was shown to dramatically increase fat oxidation, with particularly noticeable reductions in abdominal fat, one of the most stubborn and dangerous types of fat in the body. But before we start thinking OMAD is the ultimate solution, we need to talk about a hidden risk: muscle loss. Eating only once a day makes it very difficult to consume enough protein to support muscle maintenance, let alone muscle growth. Multiple studies have shown that long-term OMAD can lead to reduced levels of IGF-1, a key hormone that supports muscle synthesis and repair. And after middle age, losing muscle isn't just about aesthetics, it's a major health issue. Less muscle means a slower metabolism, a higher risk of falls, and a greater chance of developing conditions like osteoporosis. TMAD, on the other hand, offers a more balanced approach. By spreading your nutrition across 2 well-structured meals, it becomes far easier to provide the body with adequate protein, essential amino acids, and key micronutrients that support not only muscle retention, but even muscle gain. From a metabolic perspective, this also helps stabilize blood sugar levels. While OMAD can sometimes cause significant fluctuations in glucose and insulin, TMAD supports a smoother, more sustainable glycemic curve. Research increasingly supports this point. Several recent studies have indicated that TMAD may be more effective in improving insulin sensitivity and reducing long-term cardiovascular risk. And that's not just a side benefit, it's a game changer, especially for people in their 50s and beyond who may be managing or trying to prevent chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. When blood sugar and blood pressure are stable, reliance on medication can be reduced, and overall quality of life improves. There's also the matter of nutritional adequacy. With OMAD, fitting all your daily needs into one meal is a logistical challenge. You're more likely to end up with nutritional imbalances or even deficiencies, particularly in key vitamins, fiber, and healthy fats. TMAD allows more room, literally and nutritionally, to include a greater variety of foods, leafy greens, colorful vegetables, whole fruits, healthy oils, nuts, seeds, and high-quality proteins. These nutrients are critical not just for energy, but for immunity, hormone balance, and overall vitality. And finally, let's talk about the mind-body connection. One underrated advantage of TMAD is how it supports mental and emotional well-being. Unlike OMAD, which keeps the body under prolonged fasting stress, TMAD offers regular fuel to the brain and nervous system. That means fewer cortisol spikes, better emotional regulation, and improved sleep. Many people in midlife struggle with sleep disturbances and anxiety, and an overly aggressive fasting routine can make those issues worse. A regular, moderate eating pattern can actually help soothe the nervous system, making TMAD not just a physical health strategy, but a mental health one as well. So in the end, the choice between OMAD and TMAD isn't just about how fast you want to lose weight. It's about the kind of life and health you want to build over time. OMAD might appeal to those chasing rapid transformation, but for most people seeking sustainable, long-term well-being, TMAD presents a smarter, safer, and more holistic path forward. Now that we've taken a close look at the physiological differences between OMAD and TMAD, let's shift gears and talk about something even more practical: real life. Because no matter how effective a diet may look on paper, if you can't actually live with it, then what's the point? Especially for those of you in your 50s, living in the US, the social and lifestyle factors surrounding your meals may be just as important, if not more, than any biological outcome. Let's start with one of the biggest hurdles you might face if you choose OMAD: social life. In American culture, meals, especially dinner, are much more than just food. They're a time for family bonding, maintaining friendships, and building connections with co-workers. For many people in their 50s, dinner is the emotional anchor of the day. Whether it's a casual evening with friends, a weekend barbecue, or a shared meal with your spouse and kids, these moments carry deep emotional weight. But OMAD, by its very design, restricts you to just one meal a day, typically within a strict time window. Let's say you've chosen to eat at 2 p.m. every day. Now imagine it's your anniversary, or a dear friend invites you to a special dinner, or you're attending an important work event that includes a meal. What do? Skip the event altogether? Sit at the table but not eat anything? Either way, you're likely to feel out of sync with those around you. In fact, many people who try OMAD report feeling socially isolated or stressed. According to one study, over 25% of people who began OMAD quit within 6 weeks. Not because of hunger, but because of the social disconnect it caused. It turns out, eating is about more than just nutrition. It's about belonging. It's about sharing stories, laughter, and support around the table. And when that disappears, something important is lost. TMAD, in contrast, offers a far more realistic and socially compatible option. By having 2 meals a day, say lunch and dinner, you can easily participate in both work lunches and family dinners. You don't have to turn down invitations. You don't have to isolate yourself. you can continue to be present, connected, and engaged. This kind of flexibility aligns far better with the typical American lifestyle. But it's not just about showing up. Sharing meals strengthens emotional bonds. Sitting down with your spouse to discuss your day, laughing with your kids over dinner, or catching up with old friends over a home-cooked meal, these aren't just moments of joy. They're stress relievers. They're emotional reset buttons. In fact, research shows that families who eat together regularly experience better emotional well-being, stronger relationships, and even improved psychological health. TMAD supports all of that. Now, some of you might be thinking, but if OMAD leads to faster weight loss, should I really give that up just for the sake of dinner conversations? It's a fair question. And yes, if you live alone, or your schedule allows you to structure your life entirely on your own terms, OMAD might still be a viable option. But for the majority of people, sticking to such a rigid routine over the long haul is simply not realistic. That's the trade-off we need to acknowledge. OMAD might give you impressive results in the short term, but the emotional toll of social isolation and the mental strain of constantly saying no to shared meals can wear you down. And in your 50s and beyond, mental and emotional health is just as vital as physical health. Staying connected with your loved ones, maintaining friendships, and being part of a community can reduce stress, improve sleep, and even support longevity. So in the end, TMAD emerges not just as a healthier option physiologically, but also as the more livable, more emotionally fulfilling choice. It respects your body and your life. It doesn't force you to choose between health and happiness. It lets you have both. And for most people, that's not just a diet. It's a way of living well. Now, let's not forget, when we talk about diet, it's not just physical health that matters. Mental well-being and stress management are just as critical. With OMAD, the prolonged fasting period throughout the day can significantly elevate stress hormones like cortisol. When cortisol stays high for long stretches, it can trigger anxiety, irritability, and even depressive moods. Let's be honest, we're already carrying enough stress. Between work demands, family responsibilities, and planning for the future, many people, especially those in their 50s, are already living under substantial pressure. Adding the mental toll of extreme hunger, fatigue, and mood swings from OMAD can take a serious toll on your daily quality of life. It can affect how you think, how you feel, and how well you function throughout the day. By contrast, TMAD is much more favorable when it comes to emotional stability and stress resilience. Having 2 regular meals a day helps stabilize blood sugar levels, which in turn prevents those sharp cortisol spikes. With a more balanced flow of energy and nutrients throughout the day, your body is better equipped to manage stress, both mentally and physically. And there's another crucial point: sleep. We all know how essential deep, restorative sleep is for both mental and physical health. OMAD often involves consuming a large meal late in the day, which can overload the digestive system and disrupt sleep quality. Digesting a big meal at night can cause issues like acid reflux, restlessness, or simply make it hard to fall into a deep sleep. Worse, the prolonged fasting itself can keep the body in a state of alertness, making it harder for your nervous system to settle down at night. TMAD, on the other hand, allows for an earlier, lighter dinner. That means your body has time to digest properly before bedtime, improving your chances of falling asleep quickly and staying asleep. Regular meal timing also supports your circadian rhythm, your internal biological clock, which is essential for deep, consistent rest. Better sleep doesn't just mean more energy the next day. It also means better emotional control, lower stress, and a stronger immune system. Speaking of long-term well-being, Here's where the conversation gets even more meaningful. What we really care about isn't just losing a few pounds, it's aging well. It's about living a high-quality life as we grow older. So the question becomes, which method, OMAD or TMAD, does a better job of promoting healthy aging and long-term vitality? Let's start with understanding what aging actually means. It's not just about wrinkles or grey hair. Aging includes muscle loss, decreased bone density, increased risk of chronic disease, and a decline in cognitive function. So any anti-aging strategy needs to go beyond appearances and focus on preserving bodily function and internal health over time. Now, one of the most compelling arguments for OMAD is its link to autophagy, the body's built-in recycling system that clears out damaged cells and regenerates healthy ones. Fasting for extended periods, such as the 23-hour window, typical of OMAD, has been shown to activate this powerful biological process. It's a kind of internal cleansing that may slow aging and promote cellular renewal. But here's the catch. Prolonged fasting also induces physiological stress. If that stress becomes chronic, it can elevate cortisol levels and actually contribute to cellular inflammation and damage, the very things autophagy is supposed to fight. So while OMAD does activate autophagy, it can also trigger stress responses that offset its benefits. TMAD, by contrast, offers a middle ground. With a fasting window of 16 to 18 hours, TMAD is long enough to stimulate autophagy, but short enough to avoid the extreme stress responses that often come with OMAD. It's a more balanced approach that supports longevity without taxing your nervous system or hormone balance. Research supports this. Moderate fasting, like what you get with TMAD, has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, reduce oxidative stress, and decrease DNA damage, all of which are linked to slower biological aging. And when it comes to maintaining muscle mass and bone health, TMAD has another clear advantage. As we age, muscle and bone density naturally decline. OMAD, with its limited eating window, makes it hard to consume enough protein, calcium, and vitamin D, key nutrients for maintaining muscle and skeletal health. In contrast, TMAD allows more opportunities to nourish the body, offering better support for physical strength, balance, and injury prevention. Think about it. Injuries like fractures or muscle tears in later life take longer to heal and can drastically reduce independence and quality of life. Maintaining strong bones and muscles is not just about looking fit, it's about preserving your freedom. TMAD helps safeguard that freedom with more consistent nutritional support. TMAD also shines when it comes to protecting your heart. Cardiovascular disease risk rises with age, and studies show that TMAD can improve cholesterol levels, stabilize blood pressure, and support vascular health more effectively than OMAD, which may cause dramatic blood sugar swings and hormone imbalances. So, from a comprehensive standpoint, when you consider autophagy, muscle retention, cardiovascular protection, and stress control, TMAD appears to offer a far more balanced path toward healthy aging. Now let's talk about something close to the heart of many viewers: exercise and physical activity. Whether you're walking in the park, lifting weights, or playing tennis, staying active is crucial to health and vitality. OMAD, because of its prolonged fasting, is great for accelerating fat burning, but it can come at a cost to physical performance. After such a long fast, you may struggle to have the energy needed for high-intensity workouts. You're more likely to experience fatigue during exercise, and the heavy meal afterward may not be absorbed efficiently for muscle recovery. That's a key issue. Muscle protein synthesis, your body's ability to rebuild and grow stronger, requires not just enough protein, but proper timing. OMAD gives you just one chance per day to fuel that process. It's hard to make that one shot count. In contrast, TMAD creates an ideal environment for training and recovery. You can fuel up before exercise and refuel after, giving your muscles the nutrients they need at the right time. Whether you're focused on strength, endurance, or general mobility, TMAD supports optimal physical performance. 2 meals also allow better hydration, blood sugar stability, and electrolyte balance, all of which are essential for sustaining long workouts or active days. If you're looking to maintain or build muscle over time, TMAD is significantly more favorable. Let's not forget about sleep again here, because exercise, recovery, and rest all go hand in hand. TMAD supports deeper sleep by preventing late-night overeating and aligning better with your body's natural rhythms. OMAD, with a heavy late meal, can disturb those rhythms and lead to restless nights. Now, we've covered metabolism, stress, exercise, and aging. But what about something we all need every day, without fail? Immune strength. Your immune system is your first line of defense against illness. And it depends on a steady, reliable supply of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and antioxidants. OMAD's limited eating window makes it hard to meet all those needs. You simply can't fit everything your body requires into one sitting. In contrast, TMAD gives your immune system what it needs to thrive. More eating opportunities mean more chances to get vitamin C, zinc, selenium, and other immunity-boosting nutrients. Regular meals also keep inflammation in check and support gut health, another major factor in immunity. Now, let's bring it all together. We've examined OMAD and TMAD from multiple angles: biology, lifestyle, emotional health, and performance. Both methods have their strengths. OMAD can be highly effective for rapid fat loss and cellular cleansing, but it's also more stressful, harder to maintain, and potentially isolating. TMAD, on the other hand, offers a sustainable, socially integrated, and physiologically balanced lifestyle. It supports muscle, mood, immunity, sleep, and social engagement, while still promoting fat loss and metabolic health. If your primary goal is rapid fat loss, especially around the abdomen, OMAD might be a powerful short-term tool. But if your goals include long-term vitality, balanced aging, emotional resilience, and exercise performance, TMAD is the more practical and protective choice. That said, your diet must serve your life. Some may do well starting with TMAD and occasionally using OMAD a few times a week to stimulate autophagy or support a cognitive edge. Others might need TMAD combined with supplements, like protein shakes, to optimize muscle gain. And for those managing high blood sugar or early-stage diabetes, OMAD can be powerful, but only under medical supervision. So rather than asking, which is better, the more helpful question might be, which method best supports my goals, my schedule, and my life? Because in the end, the best diet isn't the one with the best theory. It's the one you can live with. The one that helps you wake up every day feeling stronger, sharper, and more in tune with the life you want to live. In the end, the choice between OMAD and TMAD is deeply personal. It should be guided not by trends or peer pressure, but by your unique lifestyle, health goals, and what you can truly sustain over the long term. I hope this video has given you a clear, in-depth understanding of both approaches, how they work, what they offer, and where they might fall short. Whether you're aiming for fat loss, muscle preservation, mental clarity, or simply better quality of life, the most important thing is to find a method that you can follow consistently, one that protects your health, supports your energy, and fits into your real, everyday life. So now, I want to hear from you. Which path are you currently on? OMAD or TMAD? And more importantly, Why did you choose it? Share your experience, your challenges, and your reasons in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today.